Now, our 68 Warframe temple is without a doubt the coolest concept we've had for a Warframe in a very long time. Maybe Grendel, because he can eat things. But they are a pyromaniac glam rock star with a metronome system that boosts your abilities when you cast their abilities to the beat. And not just that, they are incredibly powerful. So let's just jump into the video, shall we? Now, to get your hands on Temple, you will need to run the new stage defense mission in Halvania once you reach rank 4 with the Hex, of course, or you can buy them with Platinum. Now, in the defense mission, you will have to defend Temple on stage as they rock out, with Victor sending wave after wave of enemies in order to try and kill Temple. Alternatively, you can buy Temple's components off Temple or Flare in the pub back in the Halvania Mall by spending beating heartstrings, which is a currency awarded by doing the new defense mission. This is what they cost on screen. Now, it is a pity system, so if you don't get Temple's parts by doing the defense mission, you have a second way of getting them by getting as much of these heartstrings and then spending them with Flare or Temple. Now, when it comes to Temple's abilities, their passive is absolutely amazing. You have this swinging metronome just under your aiming reticle. Casting your abilities whenever they meet the center of that, which is called the backbeat area, it will boost the effect of each of Temple's 4 abilities, give them a bonus effect, but also give that ability a 50% energy efficiency bonus as well. So it's got a built-in energy economy. Temple's first ability is called Pyrotechnics, where they will blast large pillars of fire. The amount of them that will scale off power strength, I think my build has 16 or 17 of them at max. If you cast this with the metronome in the center, it will give you more pillars, but it also boosts the heat damage buff and the duration of Temple's third ability, Ripper's Wail, when it does damage. Temple's second ability, Overdrive, makes enemies more vulnerable to crit. It basically increases your crit chance. Now, if you have timed it perfectly to the backbeat in the center of that metronome, it will double the crit chance that you can get. And also it boosts the heat buff and the duration of Temple's Ripper Wail as well. Temple's third ability, Ripper's Wail, makes Temple invulnerable for 4 seconds while healing and recharging Temple's shields as well. This will also overflow into Overshield. But it also gives Temple and the teammates in, I guess, affinity range a heat damage buff to their weapons when you cast an ability to the beat. Now, if you time Ripper's Wail to the backbeat in the center, it will increase the heat damage buff and its duration, and it will stack that heat damage buff as well, leading to some serious damage numbers. And like I said, it gives 4 seconds of invulnerability, which is absolutely perfect for resetting your shield gate. Now, Temple's fourth, of course, is Lizzie, the Exalted Flamethrower. To use this, Temple has to charge it up, which is super easy. Spam Temple's first ability, or if you hit the second ability, anything that you hit in the center of the metronome will charge this up, but the first ability is pretty much just the easiest way to do it. It will then give you full charge, and when you have full charge, you can whip out Lizzie, which is the Exalted Flamethrower, and you can watch the world burn. Now, Lizzie has an alt fire mode of when you aim down sights with her, your abilities on the bottom right of your screen will then turn into 4 different elements: corrosive, viral, blast, and I think magnetic. If you keep Lizzie aimed down sight and you hit any of these 4 new abilities, it will fire a wave of elemental damage, which will match whichever element you cast that ability on. So if you want to cast a viral one, then you're going to hit your first ability and so on. But if I'm being honest, the basic Flamethrower, when you stack Temple's Ripper's Wail and a double crit chance from the second ability, makes a Flamethrower hit incredibly hard. Expect plenty of red crits. So they're a frame Temple that can spread heat procs, which is one of the best elements in the game to spread because it reduces armor. They give weapons heat damage, so your other weapons and your teammates as well, which can then boost themselves off some of the arcanes in the game, like Cascadia Flare and so on, or the new Hotshot arcane, which we can only get 1 of a week, which is really disappointing. Can bounce off your crit chance as well, and it can amplify your damage even further. Temple can also heal. They can buff themselves with red crits. They have invulnerability, and like I said, they have a built-in energy economy with that passive as well. So Temple is very, very strong. Now, they're not going to be a Warframe for everyone. I think they're really good and I really like them, so I've gone and put Archon Shards and the whole lot on them, as well as Omniformer, but they are new and I'm sure we will see plenty of great builds for them over the next week or more. But until then, let me show you what I've been using over the last few hours while farming out some of the new Coda Liches while running Temple as well. So this is one of the two builds that I've been messing about with on Temple. Now remember, Temple is only out, what, less than 24 hours. So there's still going to be a lot of fine tuning within the community to find what best fits this Warframe. But as it stands right now, my Pyrotechnics has 16 pillars. This scales off power strength. So more power strength means more pillars. It's also going to be doing a decent amount of damage. I've also got my Overdrive, which will have an 80% crit chance, but once Molt Augmented kicks in and growing power, that's going to bring me up over around 100%, which will give me into red crit territory for most of my weapons. I've also, with my Ripper's Whale, is going to be doing 242% bonus heat damage while having a duration of 45 seconds. And for the Exalted Solo, for that Flamethrower, it's going to be giving me much more than a 4 times damage multiplier once Molt Augmented and Growing Power kick in as well. So the build is Growing Power, Power Drift, Prime Continuity, Augur Message, but you could switch this for Equilibrium or for Augur Secrets or for whichever, maybe Catalyzing Shields, whatever kind of mod you want to put in here. Primed Flow, because they do have quite a low energy pool without it. Archon Vitality, because it is going to give you 2 heat procs. Umbral Intensify, Blind Rage and Transient Fortitude, basically for your power strength. Molt Augmented is going to scale up your power strength as well. Arcane Ages, just for that little bit of added survivability whenever your shield breaks, but you could, if you wanted to, switch that out for something else. There is a new Arcane, actually. There is a Arcane, where is it, Hotshot. So Arcane Hotshot will allow you to, once you fully max it out, to give you a 6% weapon crit chance for 10 seconds, but it stacks 50 times. So that would be the one that I will eventually equip, but right now it seems you can only get one of these Arcanes a week by doing the new Temporal Archimedia. Now, for my second build, I've gone more down the road of shield gating with Brief Respite, with Catalyzing Shields, with an Augur mod, and if you wanted to, you could put Arcane Aegis in here as well for that little bit of extra. It does mean you've got a little bit less power strength and a little bit less duration. If you wanted, you could put Augur Message in here. So this is my current Lizzie setup, which is 4 Forma on her. It is a corrosive / heat build, because I have got 2 green shards on. I've gone for crit with Vital Sense and Critical Delay, which is going to reduce my fire rate, but Vile Acceleration is going to bounce that right back up. I've gone for Galvanized Chamber for, of course, multi-shot and, of course, the bonus you get from that. Galvanized Aptitude for the gun condition overload. Serration you can switch out for a Bane mod if you want to. Sinister Reach is going to increase my range. And that's pretty much it. Primary Crux can be used. You can put Merciless here, you can put any other Arcane you want, but I've got this on simply for the bonus status chance that I'm going to get from that. Now, when it comes to subsuming another ability onto Temple, it's kind of hard to, I guess, think of which one you want to replace. The obvious one would probably be the Exalted Flamethrower, because that way you could put any number of abilities on it, whether you wanted to go with maybe Nourish, with Gloom, with whatever your favorite one might be, Pillage and so on. If you want to put Roar on Temple, the obvious choice would be to get rid of the Exalted Weapon, but you can't do that. You have to get rid of Ripper's Whale since it is a weapons buff, which means you'd be getting rid of that 4 seconds of invulnerability. You'd be getting rid of that heal and I guess that overshield, which definitely doesn't seem like maybe a fair compromise for Roar, but maybe, I don't know, let me know in the comment section below if you think it is. So, to break it all down, I guess they are a Warframe that can spread heat procs, which is one of the best elements in the game right now to be spreading. They give weapons heat damage, bonus heat damage, which is some of the better Arcanes can then bounce off, like Cascadia Flare, or the new Hotshot Arcane, which can then amplify your damage even further. They can heal, they can buff themselves with red crits, they have an invulnerability window, and they have a built-in kind of energy economy as well. Temple, like I said at the start of the video, is very, very strong, and they are new, so I'm sure you will see plenty of great builds for them over the next week or more. But I've been enjoying the hell out of Temple over the last few hours since the update dropped. Now, over the next week or so, the channel, of course, is going to have plenty of videos of the new Coda weapons, of the new Scaldra weapons. Of course, there is changes to Exalted weapons with Arcanes and the pseudo ones, so there's been a bit of a refresh for a lot of Warframes as well. So the channel's going to be busy over the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned for plenty more videos. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Have a great day either way, and as always, thanks for watching.